All right, folks, welcome back. Rudy, Alpha Investments. Today, we're going to be talking about some sealed market updates and movements in the non-Magic world. We're going to be looking at some Flesh and Blood boxes, obviously the big three, WTR black boxes, Arcane for the purples, and of course, Crucible for the yellow boxes. Catch everyone up to speed here. Obviously, we all know WTR black and purple boxes have unlimited printings. The yellow box is Crucible. It's just first edition, and I hope you enjoyed your stay. Gift bag on the way out, and literally it's just a stale taco. That's where we're at in the market. So to my surprise, I thought for sure kind of WTR and a lot of these products would start to be stabilizing at this point. A lot of the news and the hype and a lot of the growth has already occurred. The products are sold out. There's really not much kind of going on, really news to say, but to watch people fight over the limited availability of these original boxes still is kind of a fascinating thing. You really can't downplay just the case study that we're all witnessing and how big of a deal this is to witness the market's natural movements in a 2020 environment on a new product that was ridiculed, well, all 2019 when I brought it up, and then most of 2020 until the last 90 days ago. So it's quite a fascinating change of events. So to recap where we are, the last filming I did, black first edition alpha boxes known as the WTR, those things, they broke $2,000 a box. As of the filming of this video, they broke $2,500 a box, up another 20%. And the supply is getting very scarce on the amount that are even left for sale. Yeah, so by the time this video goes live, we may be pushing towards $3,000 a box. And of course, we'll pause right there because everyone's going to say, okay, Rudy, come on, seriously. Stop bamboozling. The game's a year old, and you're trying to tell me I need to be a Timmy and go buy a $3,000 box of cards? I hear you. I hear you all loud and clear. And the honest answer is, no, you probably shouldn't buy it at $3,000 a box. Because I feel like the easy money's been made, but that's the simple surface answer. But on the other side of the coin, I got to play counterpoint here, devil's advocate, and say, the reason you have to understand the underlying mechanics of what's going on how these prices are being calculated and why the market and the bids and the buyers are choosing these price levels. That's what you really have to kind of step back and say, okay, I see the big dramatic number. I get it. It's a little ridiculous. It's clearly a bubble. It's Rudy being a bamboozle pump, but trying not to dump, I don't know, whatever. But why? And in my opinion, it's simply put because the collectors and people want the first edition cold foils. They relate it to Pokemon first editions. They relate it to old school Magic. Everybody's associating with it with overlays of kind of price memory and nostalgic and history of the history of other games that have come and gone in the past. The brain is naturally kind of creating these similarities and kind of these analogies and kind of connecting the dots. And it's creating that emotional connection, which is driving people to make these type of decisions. That's my personal opinion. And again, like I always say, it's all about the cold foil. Anytime you buy a $2,500 first edition box, it's whatever your cold foil is going to pretty much dictate the swing value of that box, and of course some other stuff. But pretty much the majority of the financial value of all these first edition boxes is what's your cold foil? What's the hit? That's what people want to know. And again, if you pull $1,000, $2,000, $500, I mean, I get it. I do. And of course, if you are that lucky person, one in 60, 80 boxes, and you hit that $5,000, $10,000 one card, and who knows, once these first batch of grades start coming back, from PSA starting to grade Flesh and Blood, I can't imagine what the first PSA 10 cold foil is going to sell for. I can't even imagine. So that's where we're at. You have to understand why these prices are like that. And, everybody is currently relating. Let me tell you the pro and con here. Everybody is currently relating these first three sets are like the Arabian Night Antiquity Legends thing from Magic in the 90s. I say, okay, thank you for your opinion. And then everyone else over here is saying, well, they specifically stated they're going to increase the print run of Monarch by multiple times. Who knows what they're going to choose? And that's exactly what Wizards did in 1995 when they put the print run through the roof for Ice Age 4th Edition, Fallen Empires, Homelands, and they just saturated it. It's the exact same walk the walk, same top hat with the same ex-girlfriend on the same walk on the beach, and it's not even a real walk. You're just bamboozling with 3D vision on. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, Is Monarch going to be this overprinted and that's what's going to drive it down to almost crash it and create a reserve list? You know, I've heard all these things going every which way, folks. And I'm here to tell you, you want the honest answer what's going to happen? I don't have a clue. Don't have a clue. If you're looking to Rudy, hey, he's talking to the he must know. I'll give you the best piece of advice. No clue. Because in my opinion, I haven't been able to predict any of it. I predicted all this stuff would age slowly and rise slowly in price. I thought the alpha boxes would go from 100 to maybe 150 to maybe 200 by now. I may have been off by 2 or 3 zeros, but that's where we're at. So now when you look at Arcane Rising, the purple boxes, these boxes, you know, they were hovering $800 to $900 a box. They were $400 or $500 a box for months. And they sat there. Channel Fireball was selling their position of first editions. $400, $450, $499. They were readily available. Months. And they sold consistently. Maybe 1 or 2 boxes every day on eBay. And then, of course, you know, you have some higher net worth individuals move in. They make their positions. They do some big movements. And it spreads like wildfire. It's like a catnip. And that's just what happens. And now, Arcane Rising boxes, as of the filming this video, they were $900 a box. And literally, I'm filming this because Arcane just broke above $1,000. And now they're $1,100 a box for the purple Arcane first editions. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. This is an amazing case study of what happens when you start something new, just like Wizards did. Your print runs are small, but you experience an exponential, extreme parabolic movement. And what happens is you have that extreme, instead of a growth like this, you know, that moves up, you go and then you have this. You have that hard, kind of that half pipe type of ramp in the skate world. And it's so intense. The supply chain was not engineered for this many people to be bidding on that little, it's misaligned. And when you have this misalignment, you create extreme market movements. And I know, make fun of me, make sure you bookmark this video. I want to be on record, and I'm going to stay on record, and if I'm wrong, make fun of me in the future. I'm okay with it. Everyone does it with many things in the Magic world. I don't think this is really a bubble. I think this is a story of miscalculation on supply, because due to 2020, and a surprise spike in growth that happened sooner than expected. I think this is a story of how just supply and demand were mismatched. I don't think this is some sort of investor-driven bubble. Believe it or not, most people buying these things, opening them. There's people opening them all over YouTube. People are going for the cold foils. That's not, investors aren't just buying the box and flipping it back and forth. I'm not really seeing that. Actually, the people who seem to have the boxes aren't really selling them. So, and I know, again, we'll get later in the video here, but still, you know what the most beautiful thing is, ladies and gentlemen? The most beautiful thing, no, not my $5.99 Great Clips haircut. No. Not my $2.49 taco sandwich I had for dinner. The most beautiful thing is while all this crazy price movement is going on, the backbone of Flesh and Blood remains the unlimited cheap product for WTR and Arcane Rising. The fact that those prices are rock solid, the boxes are $80, the market is stable, and even maybe $90. I don't know what they're going to be able to fill it. $90 a box, okay? That's a beautiful thing because it allows regular people to go out and buy 1 box of each for $89 and $89, and they can enjoy the game. And that's an amazing thing. That is the true health of the game. Now, let me tell you all something. If I see these unlimited boxes and no one buys them, that's when I will make a video and I will report that it appears there's weakness in the Flesh and Blood market. I have no problem reporting on whatever the market decides to rear its ugly head at. But right now, as long as the true core component of the Flesh and Blood kind of card game health and community is the unlimited boxes themselves, the players themselves. I see, and I'm still seeing tremendous demand, patron messages, sales on eBay, TCG player, LGSs around the country, asking distributor. I talked to the distributor. I'm like, hey, what about this FaB? Dude, Rudy, we cannot keep it in stock. LGS is everywhere on the books for boxes, pre-orders, restocks, back-ordered, allocation. And, and these are unlimited printings, folks. These aren't even really investable, no cold foils. This is straight player-backed product. These are not investable items. But as long as I'm seeing that, which is the most important, critical component that we all need to pay attention to, that's why I know this is not a bubble. And that's why I feel it's actually a true, authentic situation. I don't actually think this is really a bamboozling situation. And again, to remind everybody out there, I do not really recommend most people, 99% of you all watching, including myself, I'm not going to buy a first edition box for $3,000. I'm not going to, it's just not for me. I mean, I am enjoying the story of this and being part of it from the beginning. That's the most exciting to me. But as long as that backbone, which is the player base, and I see those numbers for unlimited boxes, my basement